Hello, happy Monday. Thank you so much for joining me. My name is Alyssa Thomas from Penguin and Fish, where we make lovely and quirky hand embroidery kits. And I'm here every weeknight on Facebook Live here. And it's a time where we can relax and craft and work on a project together for about an hour in the evenings here. And we're going to continue tonight on the Charming Chevrons quilt by Krista Watson of Krista Quilts. Her link to the pattern is in this post here below. We have been working on the free motion quilting, and we're going to do more of these orange peel guys tonight. We got about half of the row done on Thursday. No, on, man, it's been a while. On Wednesday, nope, Tuesday, I think is the last day that we worked on this. Holy cow, you guys, it's been a while. I did test my tension of the sewing machine again, and it did feel like a long time since I've tried free motion quilting. So yeah, it's almost a week since we've worked on this quilt. So we'll continue on those orange peels today, and I think we might be able to start another row. And I'm thinking of doing serpentine lines, serpentine curves, and so I'll give that an attempt. Again, just so you guys, if you're first coming in, I have not free motion quilted before this quilt, so this is a learning quilt for me. Sometimes you just gotta jump in and give it a go, and that's what we're doing here. So, all right, I'm going to flip you around. Thanks, you guys, so much for the birthday wishes. It was my birthday on Friday, and I haven't had a chance to write everyone back yet, but you guys are awesome, and I appreciate all the awesome birthday wishes. We went to a West Side Story here in town here, and it was super fun. Just a really nice, beautiful day, too, and it was great. But I do have to let you guys know it's going to be another short week for me, so I'm only going to be here today and tomorrow this week. So Wednesday through Friday, I'm going to be out of town. We're going to be doing some business stuff out of town. So I am going to miss this next Splendid Sampler block, but we will pick it up again. So on Thursdays and Fridays, we usually work on the Splendid Sampler 2. And I'm going to be missing a block. I'm going to be missing that block this week, but we will pick it up. I will have one of these Saturdays coming up. We'll do a live stream or some other time. We are not going to totally miss it. So I am still going to do every block from beginning to end. Even my unfinished blocks that we've started, I will be continuing that live so you guys have the videos. But yes, I won't be here this week for that, I know. But the week after that, I will be here home free. So, all right, guys, that's the little update, little schedule thing to let you guys know about. And I'm going to flip you around. Let's get sewing tonight. All right, so what we're going to continue tonight is this row of like orange peels. So we only got this far, and then we had just enough time to come back and do that bottom row. So we are going to do the rest of it. So we got about halfway done, so we just need to finish going up the zigzag here. We're kind of doing a 2 per angle, so we're doing like 2 arcs, and then 2 arcs, and then we're going, oh, actually that's not how we're doing it. We're doing an arc, and then we're going down and doing an arc horizontally, and then the second arc down horizontally, and then the arcs going this way. And then when we get the whole row going up, we'll come back and do the finishing arcs on the bottom, and that's kind of how we get the full spectrum of arcs here. This last bit we did coming back, so we're only kind of doing these like teeth right now, and then we come back and do the bottom. So all right, that is the plan for tonight. Let's get it in the machine here. So I had to start a new color for the top thread, so we are using this kind of green teal now for the top. So I watched, so I had a lot of kind of little computer-y stuff to do over the weekend, and so I had YouTube going, and I watched just like hours of free motion quilting. So I'm hoping that I have a few more things that I can try and play with and give a go here. It looks like I never finished this arc back up, so I'm gonna arc this way first, and then we'll start our arcs. That'll be a good way to start, I think. They're kind of right at the corner. I'm just doing a little back stitch to bring my bottom thread up, this little brown thread here. There we go. Okay, a few stitches to start. All right, and let's get that glove on and the grip it. We'll use those two guys again. So I also ordered, it was kind of a birthday present to myself, but I ordered one of the Westerly feet. So remember we were talking, it was really difficult for me to do ruler work the other day when we were working on that because my foot is just too skinny and it's going underneath the ruler here, the acrylic. So I did get one of those Westerly feet. They're a little bit taller, so you can butt the ruler up against it. So it's called a ruler foot. I actually got the decorative stitching ruler foot, which means I can more easily run like yarn through if I want to like couch down yarn on top. If you're not sure what I mean by that, I will definitely do a little, I think, box opening or something of it and give it a try because I'm stoked about that extra little detail that it has for that block. But that's in the mail, so hopefully I get that before we get done with this quilt and I can give it a try. All right, so I'm starting out by making the arc here. But yeah, that foot is just a little fatter. Oh man, I can hardly move this quilt. I gotta shift some bulk. Make the whole thing looser in every direction. There we go. Getting warmed up again. It's been some of these guys are gonna just be super odd, but it's Tuesday was the last day I think we worked on this because we had the 4th of July in there. Where did I order the foot from? You know, I think I ordered it, Lucy, directly from. Oh no, I didn't. I think allbrands.com, does that sound familiar to you guys? All Brands? I think I did a Google search and they had free shipping. Oh, you know what, you guys, I totally missed my guy coming down here, so I'm gonna have to go back and do that later. When I come back down this way, I'm gonna have to hook back up and get that one. But I got it off of, yeah, I think it was called allbrands.com and it was sewing stuff. But I almost got it direct from Westerly, but they're in Australia, and you know, with the free shipping, it was the same price plus the free shipping, so I went with the All Brands place. And I got the low shank one, and I'm assuming that's right. Oh, an All Brands store. So, oh, that's a whole store. Oh, I didn't realize that. Maybe that's a southern thing. You could do the label for the chevron using couching. Ooh, that would be awesome, Noeline. Yeah, so what couching is, and this is the decorative foot that I got. So it's the same ruler foot where it's just super fat and it's a 1/2 inch so that wherever you stitch, the needle's going to be right in the middle, so it's going to be a 1/4 inch no matter where your ruler is, which is kind of awesome because right now I have an oval and that's not going to give me a 1/4 inch no matter where the ruler is. So it's the same foot in that sense, but it's got an extra little, it looks like plastic disc on the inside and just making the hole smaller. And you can run yarn, like if I took a piece of yarn and fed it through the foot so that while I'm stitching, it's also stitching down the yarn. That means couching. When you stitch something else down is called couching. So it has that ability, like to make that easier. So I'm kind of super excited about that. So we'll see how that goes. I definitely want to give that a try. So I think it's basically the same foot. It just has that extra little plastic piece in. So I'm excited. But yeah, you could write with it. You could draw with it. I want to draw like big characters with it and then quilt on the inside. That's kind of kind of what my reasoning was. Ugh, man, we still have a lot of bulk of this quilt. It's hard to get in here. I'm definitely have a world of practice to go before I can get these arcs decent and my stitch length and all that decent. But you know, this is practicing. This is me practicing, you know. And I'm not doing any measuring. In theory, I'm aiming for the centers of these lines. So I'm arcing towards the center and then going to the center on the other side and back up, and then going to the point. But they're pretty wonky. It'd be good practice to just try all arcs on something. But man, I bet those people who have sewing machines that have a huge neck here really appreciate it, because I sure could use that right now. So much fabric stuck in here. It's fine when I'm going this way, because then I have all this space here. But then when I go back up this way, then it gets angry. There we go. Trying to really concentrate on these arches a little bit more. So Angela Walters recently did that whole free motion quilt sew-along like tutorial and on her YouTube page, and I watched a lot of those. And another person I watched was, I believe her name is Amy Johnson. I watched a lot of her videos too. So I'm hoping that we can start some feathers soon and some other things. You saw a quilter on YouTube using sour sponge pads as grippets. Oh, interesting. Oh, you love your large Bonina machine with the room. Yeah, man. It's funny, once you try some of these things, you know, with whatever your current machine is, you really, once you start trying new things, you really get a sense of like, oh man, this and this and this would be nice if I ever got another machine. So yeah, if I magically ever got another machine and I still really like doing this stuff, large neck would be awesome. Because like these arches, I would like to, in theory, I'd like to do that whole arch in one go, but I gotta shush this bulk out of the way. Oh, hello, Sylvia. So like a sponge scour pad instead of a grippet. That's kind of interesting. I think my biggest thing is just I need a ton of practice, and I need to really pay attention as I go. But Angela Walters had a really great tip that I liked, and it was to try and make your motifs kind of the same width. So like if you're meandering, try and keep the same distance between your meander, and that will keep, it'll keep, sorry guys, I can't sew and talk tonight. but it'll keep like the density looking good. So that's something I'm gonna work on in the future, especially once I have that other foot, is just the distance between my motifs that I'm stitching. And actually, once we get to what I want to do next, the serpentine line going up, I think that'll be a good practice for feathers. But once I do that I really want to focus on distance. So I'm gonna try and use my foot as a guide a little bit. I don't know. We'll see how that goes. And I think we'll definitely get to that tonight because we're getting close to being done here. You know, the neat thing too is that we can add details to these things too. Like if I wanted to get more fancy, I could just echo on the inside of this too. You know, so let's add another line to this. Like we can make these little petals really detailed in theory. But anyway, I'll just keep going. Oh, oops, sorry. I almost went the wrong direction again. Angela Walters, she's in yep, there, Pam's got it there for you, Gretchen. Just do a search for her on YouTube. She does great videos, and she's kind of like one of the big names right now in machine quilting. Yes, the Midnight Quilt Show too. So that's not where she has these free motion quilting videos. That's on her own page, the Angela Walter page. I believe the Midnight Quilt Show is part of Craftsy. So she does some stuff for Craftsy too. Ooh, that's a pretty decent arc. Just a little jibble jabble in there, but that's it. We just have 1.5 more V's to go here. Oops, geez, I'm bending this needle everywhere. There we go. Make sure the needle's down. My machine doesn't have that needle down. Oh yeah, she's funny too. Her videos are really great and super informative. So I just had those running in the background all day today and yesterday, and learned a ton. And then Amy Johnson, I believe, was another person I watched. But you'll really get a lot out of Angela Walters. And Angela actually wrote a book with Krista Watson, who, you know, we're following Krista's book on machine quilting for this project, and this is her pattern. But she teamed up with Angela and did a book as well. Yeah, though, if you haven't watched any of them, if you like quilting and you haven't watched any of the Midnight Quilting Show, they're totally worth it. Again, it's Craftsy, I believe, but Angela, it's like her show, and she goes how to make a quilt from beginning to end. And I think most of the patterns are free and stuff. But, you know, quickly, like it's edited. It's not like a live show like this. It's edited so you can get the whole process really quickly, and she has great tips. Oh yeah, it's amazing how much you pick up just by watching one after another, that's for sure. And that's how I learn best. Like I was talking to my mom about this over the weekend, but I like to, before I start a project, I like to get really excited about it by watching videos and learning, like, ooh, I really want to do, you know, I want to learn free motion quilting. Look at all these fun things people are doing. So I'll get excited by watching other people's stuff, and then I'll just jump in. Like, I won't practice or anything. I want to give it a try. So I'll just jump in, and that's kind of what we're doing with this quilt. And how it usually works is I'll get a feel for it. I'll start playing with whatever technique we're doing, and I'll for sure hit some walls, right? So once I've hit enough walls, or once I want to learn how to like improve beyond just putzing around, then I always go back to the education again, like watching videos and looking at blogs and all that again. In this case, a whole pile of videos. So it's get excited about it by watching other people's stuff or looking at a new technique or something, and then just jumping right in, and then in the middle of the jump in, learning some more, and then trying to apply that before I finish the project. It's kind of my learning, how I learn, how I work. So it was definitely okay, I want to jump in and watch how people do stuff and get some tips. So I think there's value just jumping in and giving it a try. But once you start going, then getting some of those extra little tips that I wouldn't have figured out quickly on my own, just put those in the bank and then come back around and give it a go again. I think that works for me. Oh, Lori Kennedy, I think I just found some of her videos before I came on here tonight, so I'm going to have to give her a look some more too. Actually, does she do it all on the long arm? I just watched somebody right before coming on. I think it might have been Lori Kennedy, because I was like blown away because she was outlining this character, but then she filled it in with that swirl that we tried here with the swirl, and then coming back out of the swirl, and then kind of meandering. And she was doing it at like 100 miles an hour, and it was completely mesmerizing. Definitely gave me like a look at, you know, what real people can do when they're doing all their quilting. It was crazy town. All right, so now we're going. We did all our little bits on this way. Now we're going to come back to do all these bottom bits. So we didn't do the bottom ones, right? So we got to come back and do those bottom orange peels. Yeah, they make it look so easy, which takes the fear out of having a go at it. Yeah, and you know, some of, like Angela is just a really good teacher too. So yeah, it feels like you can do it. See, like what's neat is like we could just go around this again. Let's just give it a try for fun. You can just keep adding to these. So we're just kind of echoing the guy here. Oh, see, it's cool. See, it's making a. Oops, no, got excited and went way off. But it's making a little deal there way more fancy looking, I think. That's pretty cool. And then, you know, you could fill all this in or do other stuff too. Maybe we should give that a try. So let's fill that next one in for just like, because why not? Oh, Deborah, you didn't get a notification tonight. Well, we haven't done too much yet. We are going back and doing these bottom bits. And I'm just putzing around with them too. These bottom arcs, and I'm just adding extra arcs for no reason other than I think it might be fun. They're double arcs, but we could, you know, you could go in there still. I'm trying to do just a little baby meander, but this space is really small. Wow, that's really poorly done, but point being is that we can fill these guys in with extra little stuff. Anyway, I'm just gonna go to the end now. Enough playing with that. I want to get back to where we started so we can start that next row. I'd like to get another row going tonight. Wow, my aim. I gotta aim for the point. So I'm just going back all those bottom bumps that we haven't done yet. Yeah, it's fun playing, and you know, this is a play quilt, you know, this quilt is meant to just try stuff on. All right, I got most of this quilt in my lap right now. Wow, we're sounding pretty choppy, but it still looks like it's sewing okay. I definitely need to work on my curves and my arcs, but with the next row, I'm going to be working on that a lot. So the next row, I'm going to try the serpentine curvy lines. Oh, look, I'm done here. Oh, did I run out of bobbin or is something going up? No more bobbin, it looks like. I thought I'd have enough for, oh man, I just have a couple more too. Boo! I got a little ways to go yet. I checked the bobbin and I thought I'd have plenty for this, but I guess not. I did wind a few more bobbins though before coming on tonight. So, oh yeah, it's less enough that it just kind of broke on itself there. So, all right, let's get my little go-to bowl, and there's another bobbin. Definitely nice having some bobbins pre-wound and ready to go with all this free motion quilting. This guy should last us a row or so, I hope. Guess it depends on how dense our quilting is going to be. I know, I'm using such weird colors, aren't I? You know, ideally I would use the same color for the color thread for the top and the bottom, but I'm using, I gotta make a nicer edge here. I am using up thread that I have. It's 100% cotton thread and it's 30 weight, which is pretty hefty. But I'm in the use all the things up mode, you know? Using up all the things, and oh, maybe that's what's chunking. It's my hole's maybe not big enough here. Weird, what's going on here? Oh, my bobbin's not in all the way. Great. Let's try that again. But yeah, so I'm using up all of this thread that I already have. I don't know, I was thinking about that today. Why am I in like use up all the stuff mode? And I think in my head, I have this idea that once I use up all of my stuff, then I'll be able to buy new stuff that I actually want and need. Which is just a little silly since I'm kind of doing that anyway. But yeah, I think that's where it's coming from. That in my head, I just want to use up all the little bits of random thread that I have laying around. And then one day, I'll be able to buy all the pretty thread colors that I actually want. When I make a real quilt one day. I don't know. I think that might be part of it. I have to use it all up before I get new stuff. Oh, the play was great. So you guys, it was my birthday on Friday, so that's why we weren't here. Yeah, I want to save old Kenmore machines. I know. So I got to choose. Do I want all the new stuff or do I want to save all the old things and use them up? But my birthday was just super duper fun. It was a beautiful, beautiful day outside. Just like perfect sunny, low 80s. Everyone was out and about and had lunch. Got a sandwich at my favorite sandwich place in town. And ooh, wow. Yeah, we're jumping over a seam here or something. Yeah, and then we went to West Side Story, which is playing in town here at the Guthrie Theater here. And it was fun. It was really fun. It's always neat to kind of see plays at the Guthrie. They do a nice job. And the sets are always neat. They have one of those, that theater has one of those types of stages that kind of come out into the audience, and it's kind of like a small audience too, and you're right around the stage, so the set decoration and lighting and everything is always pretty unique because they have to accommodate that stage that comes out into the theater a little bit. It's not like, you know, a different like your typical play where you're in the audience and then there's that flat stage in front of you. It's totally different. It was fun. Then after that, that got done late. It got done at like 10:45 or something, and we rushed to see if we could get into our favorite pizza place still, and they were going to be open for like 5 more minutes, and we got there and they still made us a pizza, and that was nice. They were all cleaning up and stuff, but we still got a pizza. So we topped off the birthday with favorite pizza. It was a nice day. Oh, but man, then the next day, on Saturday and Sunday, we were just kind of, or Saturday we were outside all day long, and oh man, it was so sunny that I still feel like wiped out from being outside all weekend. Oh, you have all the West Side Story songs going through your head. That's awesome. Yeah. My husband hadn't seen it before, so I was curious what he thought about it and stuff. And then on if you get HBO to go, or if you have HBO, then you can, or they have movies on there, and West Side Story is on there right now. So the next morning we watched a lot of, we didn't finish it, but we watched a lot of West Side Story, the movie, because he hadn't seen it yet, and I wanted him to see part of it after going to see the play. All right, here's that one that I forgot, so I gotta go up this way. Get that extra little bump in. Oh, Gretchen, I'm 38 now. So 38. All right, then down this way, connect back up. All right, and then we have one more bloop, and that is it. And then the next row here, I'm hoping to get better at these bloops. Youngin', that's nice. It always feels weird to say the next number up. All right, I'm just snipping these. I'm not, you can sew these in and get real fancy with how you're finishing your threads, but again, we're just playing with this quilt. It doesn't have to be fancy for anyone. Oh, you guys are nice. Oh, thanks, Nolene. All right, so we only have 3 rows left here. Wait, 3. No, we got 4 rows left. 4 rows. So this next one, I want to do a serpentine stitch, and I think we'll start at the bottom and go up on this one. My tape's coming loose here. Next time I'll have to redo this. All right, and so what that is we're basically going to make like an S curve all the way from one edge to the other, and then we're going to kind of travel up the line a little bit and then do an S curve the other direction, like parallel to it, and then we'll go up a little bit more and then do another S curve. And it seemed like a fun way to fill a space, and This is one of the ones that I saw when I was watching all the Angelo Walter videos, but I thought this one would be fun to help me get better at curves and help me get better at, you know, starting and ending somewhere. And I thought it'd be good practice before doing a feather. But I'm excited to start feathers. I watched a whole ton of videos on doing feathers, which I don't know, always seems like the ultimate of free motion quilting, right? The feathers. And so we'll definitely get that in one of these rows for sure. I want to play around with that. Oh, well, you guys are sweet. Oh man, Gretchen, I'm totally loving this quilt. I can see making it again. I mean, we spend a lot of time making all the little blocks. You know, it's monotonous. You're making the same block over and over again, but that gets super relaxing too when you're making the same thing. This would be just such a fun quilt to try a whole nother quilting motif with too. But yeah, I'm loving it. It's just simple and classic, but really just pretty and fun. All right, so let's give this a go. I'm just gonna kind of arc up like a soft S curve and then get back on the line this way. Yes, Patricia. So Patricia's asking, am I going to continue with the videos after the first 20 of the sampler quilt? So she's referring to the Splendid Sampler 2. That's what I am working on. Oh man, I can already tell that my arcs are horrible. We're gonna have to just practice. But that's what I'm working on Thursdays and Fridays. Not this Thursday and Friday though. Like I said, I'm gonna be gone from Wednesday on for the week. But yes, so the first sorry, I'm concentrating. Wow, okay, we're gonna work on this. But the first 20 blocks are free, and then the rest are gonna be from the book. So you need to get the book, the Splendid Sampler 2 book. Sorry, I'm totally concentrating. And yes, I will. The short answer is yes, I will be continuing doing all the blocks for the entire Splendid Sampler 2. It's 100 blocks. The first 20 are free. And I will be doing them all Thursdays and Fridays. Oh, your queen is a king? Yeah, I'm doing the twin, and the twin seems like it might be able to fit on my queen bed too. All right, I'm kind of doing it. So in theory, all of these lines should be parallel, and mine clearly aren't yet. So I need to work on this. Is definitely a good practice one for me. There, like those two next to each other, that's kind of what it's supposed to look like. All kind of the same width. So this is where I want to work on keeping a similar width. Although I'm already messing that up. We're practicing here, so that's what we're gonna do. The nice thing is I don't have to do anything with the corner. I can just keep going back and forth. So I think you got to travel up the row a little bit. So one thing I want to do when I keep working on this is I want to try doing it with just squares, because I think doing this whole row just these long rows is kind of difficult. It'd be nice to work in some smaller squares to try and move, just to get better at, you know, now that we're playing around, it'd be nice to like just get more practice in some of these arcs, and maybe working it with a smaller piece would be good for that. But we're gonna work on it with this big guy and see how it goes. So this one's bigger. I'm just trying to get it going again. Oh, maybe I have to do it different here because it's going up the other side now. Huh? Nah, we're just gonna do it. This one's gonna be all about working on arcs and stuff for me. In theory, I want the edge to kind of to come and be in line. Like here I was arcing down and it was kind of continuing this arc, but now that we're going the other direction, I'm kind of not doing that anymore. I'm just kind of stopping at that point, but which doesn't allow me to go up at all, really. But I don't know. Suppose we'll just switch directions. Who knows what I'm doing now? I've switched directions, basically. Mirror reverse. Luckily, we have a whole row to practice on. Yeah, I'm stoked to get this done, and you know what? It's gonna get done soon. This is row 4. We only have 3 more after this one, and yeah, that's weird. I don't know how to fix that, but then I'm just going to do a rollover binding. So I'm just going to be rolling over this edge and stitching it down, and that's going to be our binding. We'll do some mitered corners with that. Mirror reverse. Yeah, I'm not quite sure how to do the switch over for this. Without doing it totally wonky. Like now I just decided to switch angles, but you'll be able to tell that. Yeah, I think the belt is holding up fine. I haven't opened up underneath and checked again since then. But I think it's probably perfectly fine yet, the belt. Oh, it's just so funny. I'm definitely feeling that just gotta be vulnerable and just jump right into this, because it's gonna take a ton of practice. But I see the potential in all this free motion quilting. I'd love to get better at it. Honestly, I think I still need a lot of work on just the speed of my pedal. I know, I learned so much so far on this chevron quilt. Oh, the angle seems to make it different. Yeah, it's switching angles. I wasn't expecting that whole angle switch, having trouble with that. So I gotta figure out a way to accommodate that. I was thinking, oh, it'd be just easy, you just continue, but like at this point, I think, once I reach that point, I think I gotta kind of go the other way a little bit. Like maybe the points have to be special so I can switch angles. Like there, I was able to switch angles there. Now we just got like kind of like a fish shape in the middle here. Yeah, so I think you're right, Deborah. So we've changed angles. I think that has to happen on the corners here. See, here we go. So we finished that one up, and then we switched angles, and we got kind of like I said, this fish shape. But I think that's kind of nice. So I think that's good. Oh, thanks, Chris. I appreciate that. We're learning as we go, and you know what? We're gonna get a quilt out of it when we're done, and that's pretty awesome. And I gotta use up a whole pile of thread, which I've been meaning to use up. And definitely getting a start on learning something new, which I totally love. It's one of my favorite things about crafting is getting to learn something new. Yeah, definitely. I'm always kind of, you know, I'm just chilling out and stitching too, but I'm always kind of have in my head what I can work on, and I think my pedal to hand movement needs a ton of work yet. I'm having a hard time. It's either fast or slow. The pedal is kind of what it's seeming like. So I need to get more comfortable with that, I think. A quilt with some fun memories, exactly. And you know, I love when a quilt has a story, and I mean, this one for sure is just the learning, the taking a stab at quilting. But it'll be fun to look back at. Like everything you make is a historical piece of where you were at that point in time. You know what I mean? And I think that's makes it just really fascinating. Every single piece that's what makes everything human, you know? It's just interesting. All right, here's where I'm just going to go up to the corner, and now I'm going to make that fish. So I'm going to go that other direction. Oh, thanks, Deborah. Yeah, just jumping right in, and you know, a lot of this stuff. I mean, I think, you know, with crafting type things, and you know, this free motion quilting for sure. You can learn as much as you want beforehand, but you're not going to have a feel for anything until you start, you know? So, might as well learn as you go, because that's what's going to happen anyway, right? That's true, I haven't done this in a while either. I'm feeling these curves a lot more now, though, than when we started. So, slow and steady. I think I'm traveling up the row a little bit better than earlier too. So I'm feeling this whole section looks pretty dang good, I think. Oh, you had a ton of toe catchers. I think, Robin, when I changed the belt, a lot of that went away. Oh, this is a pretty flat arc. I get nervous when I'm like, oh, that one went really well, because then the next one's always horrible. This one's too is like way up here. Let's concentrate again. All right. All right, I'm going to go up to the point again, and this is where we're going to switch around. It's kind of pretty all wonky, though. Oh, that's what you told your mom when you were in school, that you learn better in real life and not books. Totally, Gretchen. And, you know, I wish, you know, I don't know how schools are now, but I would have loved way more making stuff and hands on figuring things out. Ooh, there's a toe catcher. When we say toe catcher, what we're talking about is when you make like one really big stitch, like so big that someone could catch their toe in it. Toe catchers. I don't know who started saying that here, but I love it. It's a perfect term for those stitches. You've always been visual and hands-on. Yeah, me too. And same with my husband and too. We talk about that. How that would have been, you know, schools cater to one sort of person. All right. That's pretty harsh, but I don't know. I'm all about visual learning or learning how you learn best, you know? I just don't like when people feel dumb just because they learn differently. Makes me sad. So I'm still kind of more focused on arcs and my stitch speed more than anything. This line looks pretty good, my stitches there. You had a great sewing teacher at school who put up with me so much. Oh, amazingly, it's all stuck. Oh, that's awesome, Noeline. Yeah, you need that good teacher. All right, I'm going to make that fish here again. Oops. I keep, so one thing that I keep doing that is a habit that I need to stop is I keep moving my hands while I'm stitching, and every time I do that, I get a big bloop or I get a toe catcher. So I need to only move my hands with the needle down. Ooh, wow. Getting some crazy arcs in here again. Fortunately, I have to move it more often because my all the bulk here yet. Like right there, I can't move it anymore. So I gotta readjust. Oops, I don't think I wanted to go all the way down there. Hate it when folks are ignored or put down because they learn differently. Exactly, Gretchen. It's just so sad. And that's, you know, you live with that then thinking that too, you know? There we go. Couldn't move my hand over anymore. Let's see, how are we doing here? Oh, I think we're about, maybe we're only about a third of the way up here. I was thinking we were getting towards the end of this guy, but nope, we got a ways to go. But this is a great filler. Like, this is looking really kind of, really pretty, I think. These arcs, these serpentine arcs. We haven't really done anything really where I'm going from one end to the other and like touching the end. Well, I guess our last one did a little bit, but man, it's tough for me to just kind of get to that end and stop. So I mean, just and then starting up again, like it's interesting. It's interesting what pops up as little challenges that you wouldn't have thought of before, but I suppose that's how it goes, right? Like here, I really want to kind of travel up the line. Oh, but man, I watched some of these long arm quilters, and they're just like, and then they have a whole like section filled. It was hypnotic just watching them, especially after trying to do it here and having to go just super slow and pay really close attention to everything. Kind of crazy. Crazy to see skill and talent in action. Totally hypnotic. My thread is, I ran out of red thread, so I'm using, I have teal thread going right now. And then the bottom thread is brown, which is the closest to the red that I have now. So on the background, it'll go from red thread to kind of a maroon thread, and then this brown thread. So it'll still kind of blend. And then these front threads are kind of weirder colors, but it still blends okay, I think, because you know, we have a lot of colors going on in these quilts. All right, we'll go a little bit further. Like I think we'll finish this V and then maybe do the next V. Or the next, not the whole V, but we'll do this point and then up like that. And then we'll probably call it for the evening. And then we'll continue this line tomorrow, and then I'm not going to be here for the rest of the week. So tomorrow is my last day for the week. We won't be doing the Splendid Sampler 2 block this week just because I won't be here. Well, it'll happen still. I'm just not going to be doing it on. I'm just not going to be doing the live thing on Thursday. So I'll still do the block live. It just won't be on Thursday. I'll do it sometime when we get back. Yeah, and then the weekend. So man, it's gonna be a 5-dayer without seeing you guys. That's gonna be a bummer. I'm gonna miss hanging out with you guys. All right, let's. You don't think they have to fight with the weight of the quilt? Oh, that's true. On the long arm quilting machines, all of the quilt is just kind of tied up and ready to go. So that's true. The bulk of the quilt is totally eliminated. And man, if I could eliminate that aspect of this, that'd be pretty dang slick. That is for sure. But hey, it's pretty cool that you can still free motion quilt on an old machine like this. Like I'm using, you know, this is a Sears Kenmore sewing machine from the 70s. And, you know, there's no fancy stitches. It has some dressmaking stitches, like for stretch fabric and stuff. That's it. No decorative anything. All we need is our needle to go up and down for this, which is pretty cool. Jennifer, we have 3 more rows after this, so we are getting there. I will have to get some, our next projects prepared for us soon. So I can email out about that once I have that all together. All right, I think we're gonna go up to this corner, and then I think we'll call it. Oh, you lost what track of day it was because I wasn't on. You know, I actually did too. My week was thrown off with the 4th of July in there. I kept thinking it was Monday and it was Thursday, or I don't know, it was weird. I'm going to go around and do this kind of fish thing again, and then get that next row started, and then we'll call it. So like here. We'll go up to the corner, and then start the other direction. I'm going to need to rebulk this too. All right, and I think that's where we'll stop it. Nadia or Nada, we'll still be working on this next week for sure. We'll probably still be working on this next several weeks. I have to do the binding and everything too. Kenworth was never have a dream she would be. Oh yeah, I know, right? The Sears Kenmore. Well, you know, and think of these machines. Like my other machine, that was my husband's great grandma's machine. That's from 1929, and that was working great all weekend. So yeah, it's just amazing. Amazing that they're still working and still in use. All right, guys, I am going to flip you around, and we'll call it an evening. Hello. So I want to show you what this looks like too yet. So let's. I'm going to tilt it up for you guys. It's still on the machine, but you can see. There we go. That's all here is that serpentine stitch, and it's pretty slick looking if you ask me. Like it looks just like classy, I think. So it's pretty cute on the back too. So here's the back, just the squiggles back and forth. Here's kind of that fish shape. I think it's looking awesome. I can totally see this filling in an area. Oh, just looks so cool. So I'm stoked. I really like this one, and it's easy. You know, I say that in like quotes a little bit because it did take me a while. I mean, it's definitely practicing arcs and practicing starting and stopping and all that. But in theory, it's just a simple fill in the sense that I don't have to like think of where I have to go next. I think that's what makes it easy in my brain. Even though it was pretty difficult for me today, it took like a lot of maneuvering, but I didn't have to think, how am I going to fill in that space next, or how am I going to get out of that hole, or how is the swirl going to come out of it? You know what I mean? I think it took a little bit of the mental energy away, this one, which, you know, makes it fun. So, all right, guys, I will get this up on YouTube at Penguin and Fish Movies, where all the Facebook replays live, so you can go check it out there. And yeah, tomorrow we'll hopefully finish this row. I think we'll just go till this row is finished, and hopefully next week I want to get going. I want to try feathers next week. So I think next row is going to be our first attempt at feathers. And yeah, so tomorrow I'll be here. No Splendid Sampler 2 videos this week, just because I'll be out Wednesday through Friday, and I will be back here on Monday. So Tuesday, tomorrow, and then Monday. So thanks again, guys. I will see you tomorrow. Good night.